Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the financial performance report for the 9 months ending 31 March 2020. It does contain a brief update on the April results. I understand that we've got Diane Brandish online in order to take us through the report.
Good morning, and thank you. Can I check first that people can hear me?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. Right, so the information in this report has been circulated there. It won't come as a surprise to many people. As the Mayor just said, it was originally the March report where we were forecasting a deficit that had increased from the break-even in December up to 5.2, which built in the expected initial results as a result of knowing we had to close down for COVID-19, and then we've updated it for April now because of the increase, which is up to 33.2, and that's we have assumed there will be no final CCHL dividend. It's not yet confirmed, but we will looking to take a cautious approach. You'll note too, I draw your attention to paragraph 4.1, where we've said what's happened, what we've done to try and reduce costs further, and in particular 4.1.4. And if there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Andrew, did you want to respond as the Chair of the Finance and Performance Committee, and then I'll ask Sam if he's got anything that he'd like to add.
Yeah, thank you. Certainly very happy to make some comments. So this is the regular financial performance report, which would normally come to the Finance and Performance Committee. But this particular paper is obviously of particular interest because of its contents. This is the first time that we see the effect of COVID-19 and the lockdown as we currently understand it on this year's budget. So budgets to the year end 30th of June 2020. And of course on forecasting, so situation to the end of April, but then forecasting to the end of this financial year. Now, as Di has said, this is expected to leave a $33.2 million shortfall by the end of the financial year. It doesn't take an expert to see what's currently happening at Christchurch International Airport, or more to the point, what's not happening at Christchurch International Airport, to see why we would be planning a significant reduction in the dividend from the airport, and in fact why we're currently planning for no dividend from CCHL for the rest of this financial year, resulting in a deficit versus forecasting of 26.3 million. That dividend is unlikely to be paid. There's a further shortfall caused by loss of revenue as a result of our facilities being closed during the lockdown period. It's important to note, though, that all of the figures I've just talked about and that Diane has presented are as a result of the COVID-19 situation. From a $6 million deficit back in October 2019, we'd got ourselves to a position in February where we were back in the black and forecasting a positive year-end result. The figures that we're looking at now are brought about purely as a result of the COVID-19 situation. It's this that's going to cause a rework of the annual plan that we'll be discussing as part of item 9 today. Paragraph 4.14 details savings and cost reduction work which is already underway as a result of the situation that's just been described. The other significant matter that's noted in the report is the effect of the lockdown period on capital project delivery, again for reasonably obvious reasons. So whilst this is the regular report that the committee would receive, the content of this report really calls out some matters which are anything other than regular.
Thank you, Sam.
Oh, thank you. I probably don't need to say too much other than I just think it's really good to mention what Diane had in terms of some of those immediate actions we've taken in terms of a hiring freeze, a reduction in contractors, and that sort of review of operating expenditure just to get us till the end of June. And as Andrew mentioned, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out that the dividends are going to have a massive impact. And obviously going forward, we just need to look at the reliance we place on them as the core structure. So, this kind of is what it is in a way, and we just need to work through the next financial year and see what we can do.
Thank you. Now, are there any questions from councillors? Yanni?
Yeah, thanks. I did put a question in ahead of the meeting around the Ferry Road Wolston Master Plan Village project. I don't know if anyone.
Sorry, Yanni, this is the financial performance report.
Yeah, so
it's not in relation to specific projects.
We're being asked to carry forward that funding.
Yanni, it's not. We're receiving the report and noting the brief update on the April results. This is not a matter for discussion today. So we'll take that offline, and thank you very much for raising it. Are there any questions that are relevant to the matter before us today? There appear to be. Jimmy?
But even, it's not a specific project, but I'm particularly concerned quite a few projects in the council owned is carry forward a part the kind of the budget, because due to all the those progress is kind of delay, defer, etc. I just want to know how do we to focus on those master schedule. If behind the schedule, we
Jimmy,
need
I
to
can
have a review.
interrupt and answer the question, which is not now.
Yes.
So
Okay.
that's a very simple answer. This question is the financial performance report for the 9 months ending 31 March 2020. It is a receiving the information and noting a very brief update on the April results. We are going to start the detailed analysis of our annual plan in the next few days. So, they start tomorrow. So we will have the opportunity to talk through all of these issues.
Yes.
All right?
Okay. Thank you.
Now, Andrew, are you happy to move the report be received? Seconded by Sam. I'll put that motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no. That's carried. Thank you very much. Thank you, Di. That's very much appreciated.
Thank you.
The next item